Yeah, hello, welcome to this recap video for round 11 of the FIDE Candidates Tournament 2016 from Moscow. The round has just finished and we are going to cover the whole round for you. This is Grandmaster Lars Hansen, originally from Denmark and now residing in sunny Florida, I guess. And I'm sitting here in not so sunny Germany, but I hope we can do a good job together. Hi Lars, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Christof? And welcome everyone to this recap. It was really a fantastic round that we were following here. You see the tension from the players, that there are several blunders in this tournament, and certainly also today as well in the games. But I think the bottom line after the round today is that we're down to 3 players who can qualify. Caruana and Vishy are now tied for the lead, and Karjakin half a point behind them. And I think basically much should go wrong if it was not one of these 3 who will qualify in the end in 3 days' time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it might be that there's just a +2 score needed, which is currently enough for the lead. It could happen, some weird tie break with 3 players or whatever. But I agree on the round today. It was very spectacular. And it was just, let's say, by chance that we didn't have 4 decisive games. It could have very easily happened. And this would have been new for this tournament, where usually we have like 3 draws and a win. This is kind of the normal situation, but not because the games are boring. I think it wasn't the case at all. It's just that people defended so great. Yeah, in the rounds before that, we had some fantastic defensive efforts. And today also we see that, yeah, you can save bad positions sometimes with a bit of luck. So I think we're going to have a look at the first game now, I guess.
Certainly there was a lot of, as you say, luck and chance going on today, because as you said during the round, it seemed that we might have 4 decisive games here, but it ended up just with 2, with Vishy winning a huge game, obviously, against Sergei Karjakin, who's been leading throughout the tournament, and Giri-Svidler taking advantage of Nakamura-Aronian, blundering his way out of first, I think, a slightly better position and then a slightly worse position that I thought he might be able to draw, but he ended up losing. But we'll start with the game between Karjakin-Topalov and Fabiano Caruana, which was again one of these games where it seemed that we would have a black win. Caruana had I think a winning position at one point in time, but just before the time control, he let it slip, and the game ended in a draw. And of course, Topalov has had a disappointing tournament here, but has stabilized a little bit in the last few rounds. I think this was his 4th draw in a row. So after a catastrophic start, he has managed to destabilize a little bit. And they played this line here in the English, which I have some sympathy for White's chances here, because I have played this line a couple of times with White, with Bishop f4, and this is a little bit tricky line. I'll show just a couple of stuff that can go wrong for Black here if he's not careful. After this Bishop f4, a very natural move for Black would be d6, just covering the knight here on e5. But that's actually close to being a losing blunder, which gave me the fastest win that I've ever had against a grandmaster, winning in 13 moves against the American Nick DeFermian. And it was also, I think, the only game I won against a grandmaster where I had prepared everything from home. This is it's pretty rare for me, as I'm not an opening specialist, but I just took advantage of this blunder with d6, because what happens is that White goes Queen a4, and suddenly there is a terrible discovered check on this diagonal. Bishop d7 doesn't work for Black, because after Bishop e3, he's not able to cover b7. Queen has to go, and then White just simply picks up a lot of pawns, so Bishop takes b7. So Black's only chance in this position was knight fd7, but then fortunately I had studied this before, that this c5 is just a